Grasp of Averice is the new dungeon brought to us by the 30th anniversary pack. Shout out Bungie, because this is honestly one of the best dungeons that we've ever had. I'm not going to spoil anything. We're going to get right on into the guide. So if you do enjoy today's video, make sure you guys get subscribed, hit that like button, and hit the bell to stay notified when I upload new videos. We are giving away a copy of Witch Queen Deluxe Edition on February 20th to one lucky subscriber. So if you want to be a part of that, if we hit 500 subscribers by then, I will be giving away a copy. With all that being said, let's hop right on into the guide. I don't want to waste you guys' time here because this is one of the most fun dungeons, honestly, that I've ever experienced. So sit back, grab a snack, and let's hop right on in. All right, so here at the start of the encounter, what's going to happen is a bunch of ads are going to spawn. And when you kill these ads, they're going to drop fake exotic engrams, kind of like the loot cave back from Destiny 1. Kind of a nod to, you know, the adventures that we've had and not in Destiny 1. So, like I said, when you kill all the ads, they'll drop these exotic engrams. You have to pick them up. And there's going to be in the cave a crystal that you have to stand by to get rid of a debuff that you get called Burden of Riches, and it can stack, I'm pretty sure, infinitely. Don't quote me on that. I've had up to like 22 stacks before, so I'm pretty sure it can just keep going if you manage to pick up that many. And the ads do spawn from the cave. There will be a yellow bar wizard that spawns with a solar shield, so something like Vex, or if you have a solar bow, that'll take it out for relatively easily. But after you do that, you will drop down into the cave after you deposit enough of the crystals, and there will be more ads down there, and you just keep pushing forward. There will be a yellow bar knight at the very bottom of the cave, and then there is going to be a yellow bar vandal up to your right hand side, but that is for the Gallarhorn catalyst, which I will be making a video on soon. So if you want to catch that one, go ahead and get subscribed. And then you just keep pushing your way down into the bottom of the cave, and you'll end up in the Skywatch underground facility. Up next, we have the Rusted Gangplank encounter, which basically is just a huge puzzle. First and foremost, be careful, because in that first room to your right, there's going to be a pressure plate on the ground, and if you step on it, it will kill you. Pulling that lever opens up a door to a drain, and you just jump across. There's going to be another little platform where you can pull that lever. You don't have to, it's just kind of there. I don't know why, just because, I guess, to confuse you. Then you want to jump underneath the falling platforms here to get to the real level that you have to pull. Jump back across, and then once you get back into the main room, if you turn to your right hand side, there's going to be a little like air conditioner thing on the wall. Just jump up on that, jump up onto the next little platforms there, and then if you're facing the first drain that you went into, it'll be the third on your right hand side. Watch that pressure plate. You want to press it because it will open up the floor above you, and then jumping up here on this next air conditioner unit will also get you up to the next encounter. Watch out for that pressure plate because it'll kill you. Kind of wiggle no because you don't want to step on that. Then you go forward, pushing through over the little switch plates and into the big boy room. You're going to want to pull this lever on your left hand side when you get into the hallway, but it opens up these little like flip gates, and then the first one is going to be the second one to the right, and then watch that pressure plate. Kill all the ads in the rooms, and each one of these rooms is going to have a little switch that you have to hit, and there is a diagram on the wall to show you which doors are open and which aren't. So if you get lost or get confused, that can help you out a little bit there. And then it's going to be the second one on the left for the next one. You want to go in, again, kill all the ads, watch that pressure plate there because it'll kill you. Pull the lever, rinse and repeat. And then you want to, on this one, you do want to go out the right side because the left side door will close. Every time you flip a lever, a door opens and another door in the room will close. So you just get them straight across, pull this lever, and then you want to jump up to the top. Oops. Then you want to jump up to the top. There's going to be another lever up there, and that spawns a shrieker, and then you just want to kill that shrieker. And the goal is to open up the two big doors on either side of this hallway here. If you do fall into the water, you will die as well, so be careful there. But you do want to kill that shrieker, and then there's going to be two yellow health knights for the final two levers in order to get into the next room. So just watch out for that. And that basically opens up, like I said, that final wall on the far side of the room across from the gates here. Take out the knight, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You just want to jump across, and in the back of this room will be the door to the next encounter. So for this third part, similar to the first part, there are going to be levers around the room. This is more of a cylindrical style room. So the first one is going to be immediately to your right. You want to hop over, pull the lever, and it opens up door number 2, which is directly adjacent to this one. So you want to go across. Again, there's going to be ads in the room. You just go in, kill them all, and then what you want to do is pull the lever, and that'll open up the next room, which is room number 1, because that first lever is outside of room number 1. So this one actually opens that room up. Once you go across, you want to destroy all the ads and then pull that lever, and that'll open up door number 3. And once you open up door number 3, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and kill the yellow health vandal that's in there who's holding a scorch cannon, because that scorch cannon is going to be very, very important. And again, it's more of a stacking mechanic, like the rest of this, entire dungeon. Similar to other Destiny 2 dungeons, is it starts from this at the beginning, and then it builds on itself, and it incorporates older mechanics from earlier in the dungeon into further encounters. So once you open up that door with the scorch cannon, you want to fire at the little arc ball thing, the little container that's there. Fire the scorch cannon at that. You want to shoot it in the hole, and then once you want to hold it down. Once it explodes, it'll open up the door. And be careful, because once you go through the door, there will be a giant spindle that falls down, and it will kill you. So you do want to watch out for that. You can there are little rooms to the side that you can go through that'll protect you. And here's where we're going to get into the very first boss fight of this dungeon. On either side of this room, there are going to be rooms that you can go into, but similar to that last encounter, you're going to need to grab the scorch cannon from the vandal that spawns in the very back of the room behind the boss. Once you grab that scorch cannon, you're going to want to shoot at the little, I don't even know what to call them. I'm just going to call them scorch cannon receptacles, I guess. But once you shoot them, shoot that, charge it up, get it to explode, it'll open up the garage doors. And then you go in, there are going to be 2 yellow health knights in there, as well as a bunch of like rank and files, so acolytes and thrall. Once you kill them, they will drop the exotic engrams from the first encounter. You want to pick those up, and in the very front of the room where you came in, there's going to be a crystal that you're going to want to deposit those at with that Burdened by Riches buff that you can get. And like I said, you can get up to, I think 50 might be the cap. I'm not sure. But if you wanted to do it the easy way, you could go from one room to the other instead of making that trip to the crystal to deposit them each time you open a room. So you can open up the first room, grab all the engrams you can, then immediately grab the scorch cannon and go over to the other side, open up that garage door, kill all the ads, and get even more stacks of that riches of burden, debuff that you need to deposit at the crystal. And you can essentially one phase the crystal instead of having to go back and forth. And then once you have enough crystals deposited, which I believe the number is like 25, once you have 25 deposited, what you need to do is just damage phase. After that, you're just going to want to destroy the boss as much as possible. Gallahorn works fantastically for this. Thousand Voices, obviously with particle deconstruction right now, is really good. Any fusion rifle is going to work. We were using Gallahorn, which, essentially melted him. You might be able to one phase it, but ours was always a 2-phase almost. Well of Radiance, Bubble, Omnioculus, whatever you can use, Tethers. Just basically just put everything you got into him. This encounter is super easy. This ogre is not really all that tanky. It is a fun encounter to do. And it can be a little weird at times if you let it, but for the most part, this is great. Now, I would recommend having an Omnioculus Hunter because it can get a little hectic, especially because the boss's, detection radius is so large. He will turn on you and just destroy you. He does a ton of damage. So just make sure you guys are being careful of that, and let's go hop on into the next encounter. Next up, we have the Sparrow Run, which is the easiest part of this dungeon. It's similar to the Sparrow Run from the Scourge of the Past raid that we had, where you just basically drive your Sparrow through. Around the room there's going to be these buttons, and those buttons will extend the durations on these arc mines that are throughout this Sparrow Run. You're going to want to drive past them, and it'll extend the timer that you have, because you do have a limited time to get to each one. Honestly, I do enjoy this encounter a lot because it kind of breaks up the basically run, fight, run, puzzle, fight. So this is a welcome addition to this dungeon, and honestly, it was tons of fun. There is a secret chest in one of the eyes of the skull at the very end of that Sparrow Run. So what you're going to want to do is hop up like you're going to the next encounter, but instead of going down into the little crystal cave, turn around and look up to your left. There's going to be a couple of like larger crystals that you can jump onto, and it just puts you right up into the eye of the skull cave. And then once you get there, there will be a chest there. Has a chance to drop weapons and armor, so it's just worth checking out. Up next, we have kind of a mashup of all of the previous encounters. So this big room, there are going to be 8 platforms in which there will be a vandal that has a scorch cannon. And what you do with that scorch cannon, there are going to be these cannons around the room, and the scorch cannons activate each of those cannons. You're going to want to use the cannons to jump back and forth between these platforms. You can rotate the cannons to go to certain platforms, so you're not just confined to one until you get it done. Then once you get to the platform where there will be a shielded servitor, what you're going to want to do is kill all of the ads that spawn around the servitor, and they will drop those exotic engrams from the first and third encounters. And what you're going to want to do with those engrams is there's a crystal in the middle of each of these platforms. Just walk up to it, deposit your burden by riches, debuff into it, and it'll drop the shield on the servitor. And once you kill the servitor, it'll turn into like a servitor core. So this little ball that you have to roll towards the cannon, and in the middle of this gigantic room, there are going to be a little like, you know, explosive devices on this gigantic servitor that's hanging from the ceiling. What you want to do is rotate the cannon towards that button or that explosive and fire the scorch cannon that you got from the vandal a little bit ago into that explosive thing, and it'll blow up, and that'll, you know, you just basically rinse and repeat until you get all 5 buttons. And then once you do that, all of the cannons will point towards the middle. Shoot it with a scorch cannon, and it'll fling you to the middle of the room where you can collect your rewards. And then we're on to the next encounter. So in my opinion, this is where this dungeon gets the most fun. This is going to be the final boss encounter for the Averice dungeon. And to get it started in the middle, again, there are going to be crystals there where you're going to deposit your debuff, but there are a few steps that you have to take in order to get that debuff. First off, there are going to be 3 separate sides of this room. Just keep that into account. There's going to be front, left, and right. And on each of those sides, ads will spawn, and you just continue to kill them just so you don't get overrun. And in the middle, the boss is going to spawn 2 of his little helpers. There will be a sniper shank and a vandal, and they are very tanky. So heavy weapons are strongly encouraged. The vandal in specific is a little bit tankier, but the thing about the vandal is he will drop some engrams that you will need to start the damage phase. So if you want to have like a hunter go invis or a titan with high resilience or something like that, go in and pick those engrams up. You can get 10 initial deposits because you do need 60 deposits in order to get the damage phase to start. So to get that damage phase to start, in the back of the room, there's going to be a vandal to spawn, and he will go to one of the sides of the room, whether it be front, left, or right. And once you kill him, on each side, there will be another one of those little things you have to shoot with the scorch cannons, one of the scorch cannon receptacles that you have to fire at in order to drop these engrams out of these little pods that are around the room. Each side will have 10 that will spawn. So if you wanted to do, each side spawns orbs when you shoot one side. So you don't have to shoot all 3 sides in order to get them to spawn. You can shoot one of the receptacles, and then on all 3 sides, they will spawn the engrams. Pick up those engrams, have your teammates meet in the middle, and the easiest way to do this is have one person on each side of the room so that when those spawn, you can just pick them up and go to the middle, meet up at the middle, and there's 30. Do that twice, there's 60, and you'll have damage phase open. Where we did damage phase, I've seen a couple people do it a little bit differently. Some people stand on one of the sides. We just kind of stood in the middle, threw up a well, and kind of went to town on him. It's, you know, it's pretty straightforward. It's a lot of fun, actually. I was thoroughly impressed by this boss fight. And the crystal in the middle is where you're going to deposit your burdens by riches, debuff, and you just rinse and repeat until you kill him. The drops that you can get from this, I got a God Roll IS Luna my first try without even really trying. I've gotten a pretty good Matador from it, and that's pretty much it so far. I've run it a few times. I just haven't been able to. It's not farmable yet, so all 3 of my characters, you know, I've done it and have gotten some pretty good rewards from it. So that has been the Grasp of Averice dungeon. Like I said, that boss fight is pretty straightforward. It's just a mashup of everything we've been doing. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you really enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Get subscribed. That Witch Queen giveaway is still going on, so make sure you guys are subscribed. If we hit 500 subscribers before February 20th, we will be giving away a deluxe edition of the Witch Queen. So I have been JT Goonie. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I am out. Gonna go play with Ice Loon a little bit.